If you wake up and it's 1990, what's the first thing you're doing? Getting ready to go on that high school UK Euro tour and walk everywhere with the girl I met there. Never stop writing poetry to the student librarian at my high school. Now knowing she loved every word and read them aloud to the other girls, totally besotted. Send my novel to a publisher who'd be wowed that a 15-year could write like that. Then propose a 7-book series about an abused kid who joins a wizard school. Hug my mum a lot. It's been a few days since our former dictator was executed. We just had a nationwide revolution. About 1,500 people were killed and our flat windows have bullet holes in them. There is a new government installed. They call it a democratic one and promise better times. 34 years later, those people take turns in running the country, which is doing worse and worse as time goes on. Save money for Bitcoin. By 2009, I will have saved 1 million euros. I will buy 10 meters BTC for 1 cent BTC, and I will sell them in 2021 for 7k each, and make 7 trillion euros. I still regret not spending more in BTC when I could and selling it too early. I bought 10 euros worth of BTC into 1000 BTC and sold them for less than I would have sold them if I had waited longer. Or at least my mother. Find myself and tell her she is valuable, smart, that she isn't stupid or worthless. It's not her fault she's being bullied and abused, and she just has something called ADHD. Also to use her skills helping others early. Follow that as a job and find current partner in the future. And become a popular prophet by predicting random shit like stock changes, celebrity drama, scientific discoveries, murders, robberies, criminals' moves, other crimes, and whatever else I can think of. I will also be betting my every last dollar on all that Super Bowl shit. I'm 7 again. I'm totally stripping down to my undies, no bro, getting into the grape juice, slamming the fridge door, and running off to fill my sandbox up with water. Then I'm going to the creek, running through the briars, getting scratches and beggar lice all over me, and not giving a fuck about my appearance. I'd start lobbying to get laws passed to prevent companies from buying our housing properties, getting way ahead of the problem and preventing this bullshit we are all seeing now. Every single apartment in my downtown area is owned by a realty company, motherfuckers. By Apple. Buy into various cell phone companies, then sell right before I know it's about to tank in the late O's. Always bet early and big on all major sporting events, pulling the Back to the Future approach. Edit also heavily buy into Amazon and Google. Breakfast that my grandparents enjoy, seemingly endless summer days with little to no responsibilities. Am I my age now or the age I was then? Sure, I'd like to make some financial moves, but back then I wouldn't have much money. Ink Monkey Island on the Amiga. Hell yes, having fun until 2010 and become Bitcoin millionaire. Make everybody's life I know financially stable and then chill until I leave this floating rock. Again. On the exact same day. Well, it's also a Wednesday, so I guess I need to march my ass to school. Which would be really weird, because I can't for the life of me remember what my first period class was in 9th grade. I'd be in the USSR. Well, I'd go to Moscow to get into the quack to the Soviet McDonald's. Of course, if I wouldn't have been captured by the KGB or the Soviet militia police appeared in Russia only in 2011. I'm going to Babbage's, and I'm signing up to pre-purchase a massive list of the greatest PC games ever made. I don't care about graphics, I'm here for the gameplay. The shit these studios make today is trash. I'm going with the classic. Hug my mum again. Taught my dad into opening a custodial brokerage account and buy $1,000 worth of a PPL. Then I'm going to write myself a note and burn it into my memory BTC. So did I go back in time and I am the same person in 1990? Do I have proper documentation to show I'm my age in that year? Or am I sent back with what I have now, i.e. license and stuff from current day? Honestly, among other things, I would go visit the Twin Towers World Trade Center in New York. I'm into architecture and studied the buildings in school, and then somehow try to stop the attacks. Mine really depends if I'd break the matrix, but move next to near my parents and try to guide my brother into becoming someone he's not currently, or at least guide my parents into helping him better. I'd meet my uncle and tell him to go see a doctor. Everyone tells me that we would have gotten along extremely well. Unfortunately, he passed just months after I was born, so I never got to know him. If I'm my age and not a fetus, lol, heading over to Seattle to watch Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and Nirvana along with a bunch of amazing death metal and thrash metal bands at their absolute peak. 1990 invest heavily into Apple stock until 2009. 2009 sell all stocks. Love everything into BTC. November 2021 sell all BTC at 6-7K. 2024 live happily ever after as the richest man in the world. Start planning for how to stop 9/11. The best plan I have is to hijack a plane on 8/11 so that the safety apparatus spins up prematurely and hopefully catch the real terrorists before they do it. Spending as much time with my brother and moving out of my parents' house ASAP. I love my family, but they did me a lot of harm by trying to keep me safe and killing my independence for so long. Right on the roof of my room, enjoy your life until it's 2005. Then buy 1 billion Bitcoin. Keep enjoying your life and avoid this list of girls and guys. List of girls and guys. Go on dead tour. Start seeing fish. Switch over to seeing fish full-time in 92. Continue to see the dead Jerry as much as possible around Fish Tour. Ride out the 90s on tour, starting a grunge band named Nirvana, and then complained that I got too rich and famous, so I can't enjoy playing music anymore, so I'll just let the drummer start playing guitar. Limelight. I definitely didn't go clubbing as much as I should have. Also, find my 1990 self and tell him he's worth so much more than what he's prepared to accept. Playing Contra and Mario in the morning and go play outside in the street with neighbors afternoon, and making a good dinner with family at night and playing cards or Uno. Mourn the loss of my kids, then put everything I have in Amazon, Google, and Facebook while learning coding and getting in with tech company, so I can retire at 35. Be present. I think about all the times people tried to give me subtle clues years later, and I was oblivious. I cringe years later thinking about these moments. If I woke up in 1990, the first thing I would check is what my parents are up to, because I'm curious to see what adventures they were having before I came along. Grab a Capri Sun out of the dusty fridge in the garage. The Golden Eyeballs music is playing in the background. Life is good. They tasted much better back then. Telling myself not to get depressed about that girl, because there's a better girl just around the corner who you'll spend the rest of your life with. Turning on Saturday morning cartoons. Heating up frozen pizza for breakfast and planning to visit the neighbor across the road to play in the street. If it's straight up January 1st, 1990, wait 2 years, 10 months, and 30 days to kidnap my newborn self from the hospital and raise me to be a better me, hugging my mum and not letting go, and telling 6-year-old me some things about life that I probably won't understand but will hopefully listen to. Probably call Barney and ask if he wants to play football, basically the only phone number I know, apart from my parents' home and work numbers. Smoke in the pub, invest in Apple, Microsoft and Sony, buy Quaaludes, bit of cocaine, find a woman or two, and just make a day of it, y'all know. Probably shit my pants as I'd be a baby. If I'm my 33-year-old self, I would probably figure out a way to invest into Apple, Bitcoin, etc. I gotta convince Pontiac to keep the Fiero, and how Chevy will actually bring the mid-engine Corvette in the future, and maybe save Pontiac. Writing down predictions. Wait until I'm the first to predict the housing market crash of 2008, and I'll be the one who predicts harem. Cherish. I am living in the last good years with less global catastrophes compared to the 2020s, and be happy, or at least serene for once. Making the absolute most I can of the last year with my dad. Edit. Just woke up to all the love, thank you internet strangers. Firing up my 2400 baud modem and playing Barren Realms on ABBS, and taking 10 minutes to download a topless gif of Cindy Crawford. I'm gonna go buy a bag of Thunder Crunch chips and play some Nintendo until Crystal Pepsi hits the shelves in a couple years. Accumulate money and invest in Apple, Google, Amazon and Bitcoin. might be hard as a first grader. I'll direct my parents, meeting and getting to know my uncle who died when I was 1 that year, seeing Nin in a small club, and stature diving into people. Thank the Lord that the end of the world is still 10 years away. XOOB. Then go listen to Britney Spears or something. Go see my mum while she's pregnant with me, to see her face of shock when I'll say, "Hi mum, I'm your future daughter." Hugging my grandma and asking her to tell me fairy tales and hang out with her as much as possible. I miss her so much. Getting some pants that are comfortable and fit right. Modern male pants are all skinnier, even straight cut taper. I'd quit drinking and using drugs before it became the problem it has later in life. But it was damn fun in the 90s. Befriending young Jeff Bezos and making him aware. I'd love to help fund any business venture ideas he has in future. Buy a nice car, empty all the fluids and everything and put something over it to protect it. Then store it for later. Work out. Take care of my body. Focus on studying and saying yes to a question I'll be asked in a couple years. Take a bus and experience the local foods, the atmosphere, and visit my house or the hot destination in the future. Think, damn, I have to live through Nirvana and the grunge scene again. I turned 21 in 90 and was a metal fan. Law. Invest a fuck ton of money in computer companies. Hang out with my dad while he was in high school and chill. I'd be too, so probably dribbling on myself and generally being an agent of chaos. I wasn't a chilled child. Likely peeing, then trying to figure out why everything is dark brown wood and sticky with cigarette smoke. Meet my grandma. She passed over when I was a child. So if I could come back to the past, I would meet her.